Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting. Right, welcome back to the channel. Once again, we're at the Georgia Gun Club's 100-yard indoor rifle range, and today I'm shooting my Tikka T3X Ace target rifle chambered in .223 Remington with an Arkin 624 by 51st focal plane rifle scope. And today we'll be testing the 40 grain VMAX bullet with the accurate 2460 powder. The load data gave charge weights up to 27.8 grains of powder, I believe. I only went up to 27.5, and here's a photograph of my loading tray, and look at those charges on that front row. Look how full they are, and the manual didn't designate this as a compressed load, but I can promise you that those highest charge weights are full to the brim, and I'm even 0.3 of a grain less than the total charge weight, which I'm guessing would probably be full and overflowing. And these were measured with an RCBS M500 beam scale, so I know these charges are accurate. As always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results that follow. Shooting at 100 yards. Alright, these all performed kind of so, but let's bring them in and take a look. Alright, so after this fouling group, I intended to move the scope 2 clicks to the left so it would shoot just left of center, but instead I moved it 2 clicks to the right and shot here, here, and here, and then I adjusted it back 5 clicks to the left like I should have done in the beginning and shot here and here. I like having it shoot just to the left so I can write in my scoring information over on the right hand side of that. Nevertheless, we'll be fine here. The fouling group was actually the best, and then the group 1 shot at the same charge weight kind of opened up. This group was a little tighter. I think 27.5 may be my best group, but we will take these home, measure these with the Hornady ballistics app, and get back to you with the results. Stay tuned. All right, I'm back from the range, and I've had a chance to measure my groups and analyze the results. We're shooting a 40 grain VMAX bullet with accurate 2460 powder, and we have charge weights from 26.3 to 27.5 grains of powder. These have velocities from 3350 to 3466. So let's just go through these one by one and see how we did. We had a fouling group at 26.3 grains of powder, and this turned out to be actually our best group of the day, because we had 2 shots clustered together here and 3 shots clustered together here. So we had a group size of 0.63 inches and a mean radius of 0.27. We had an average velocity of 3351 and a standard deviation of 10.6. At that same charge weight, we shot our first group, and we had a flyer out here which threw the group off somewhat, but we had a group size of 1.33 inches with a mean radius of 0.42 an average velocity of 33.88, and a standard deviation of 19.6. Moving up to 26.6 grains of powder, we had a group size of 0.89 inches, a mean radius of 0.35, an average velocity of 34.15, and a standard deviation of 24.6. At 26.9 grains of powder, I think this might have been our best group of the day, even though we've got a group size of 1.14 inches. We've got a flyer off here to the right, and we've got 4 shots clustered together in a single group right here touching. Now we have a group size of 1.14 and a mean radius of 0.32, but if you take out that flyer, now you've got a group size of 0.34 and a mean radius of 0.12 just on those 4 shots. So I might have to redo that group to see if that flyer was an anomaly or if maybe that group is actually performing really well. But it had an average velocity of 34.45 and a standard deviation of 30 feet per second. There was an extreme spread of 74.5 feet per second on that group. At 27.2 grains of powder, we had a group size of 0.97 and a mean radius of 0.39. We had a pretty consistent velocity here. It went from 34.45 to 34.43, so it actually dropped. So that could be a velocity node right there. And we also had a standard deviation of 12.4. So that might be an area that we want to look at for some development as well. So we had a mean radius of 0.39, average velocity of 34.43. At our highest charge weight, at 27.5 grains of powder, we had a group size of 0.82, a mean radius of 0.32, an average velocity of 34.66, and a standard deviation of 16.6. Now, I showed you earlier how full these cases were. The manual doesn't show this as being a compressed load, but if you look at the photograph here that I took earlier, you see on that front row that those cases are full about to the top, and the maximum load for this is 27.8. I only loaded up to 27.5, and we're basically at the top of the case mouth on the powder fill, so it's hard to imagine 27.8 not being overfilled. So the best performers here were the 26.3 with a mean radius of 0.27 and the 27.5 with a mean radius of 0.32. And I wouldn't discount this 26.9, where if you take that flyer out, you've got a mean radius of 0.12 and a group size of 0.34 on 4 shots. So we might need to do a little bit more load development right there at the 26.9. With the new mount on my scope and my eye relief adjusted to make the rifle a little more comfortable, and with the fill on that rear bag adjusted, I think I might have a good chance of improving these groups here. All right, those are my results. I hope you find this information helpful. If you have any ideas, thoughts, questions, please leave those in the comments below. I try to interact with everybody that comments. I hope you will also like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.